In this video, let's go ahead and practice evaluating these things called variable expressions together. So another way to call these is also this algebraic expressions. So basically, they're these types of expressions that have variables or letters involved as well. Hopefully at this point, you've already practiced evaluating numerical expressions or just math problems with only numbers and symbols. So now we're going to be going ahead and stepping it up a notch and dealing with these variables or letters as well. For each of the problems in this practice set, we're going to let w always equal 3, x equal 8, y equal 5, and z equal 6. Now, that's not always going to be the case in other problems, but for all 12 problems on this worksheet, that's what w, x, y, and z are going to be equal to. All right, so for number 1, let's go ahead and see. We have x plus y plus z. If we go ahead and substitute in, x we know is going to be 8, so let's substitute in 8 here. That's going to be 8 plus y, we are going to substitute in 5. And then z, we're going to substitute in 6. So we have 8 plus 5 plus 6. All right. Now just go ahead and use our order of operations here. We have all additions. We're going to go left to right. 8 plus 5 is going to be 13. So we have 13 plus 6. And then 13 plus 6 here is going to be 19. So 19 is going to be the value of this expression, given that these values of x, y, and z are 8, 5, and 6. All right, let's try another one. For number 2, we have this expression of 17 plus 6y. Now keep in mind that 6y really just means 6 multiplied by y. So let's go ahead and substitute in. We have 17 plus, and then 6 is going to be multiplying by y. Now y we know is going to be 5, so I'm going to go ahead and use parentheses to show this, but it's going to be 6 multiplied by 5, right? You can use a dot to show multiplication as well if you would like to. Now between addition and multiplication is going to be more important. So we have 17 over here plus, and then 6 times 5 is going to be 30. Now we just have addition, so 17 plus 30, that's going to be equal to 47. So that's going to be the value of this expression if y is equal to 5. All right, let's see. For number 3, we have another one that's similar to the one in number 2. We have 37 minus 4x. So if we go ahead and substitute in, we have 37 minus, and then we have 4x, which means 4 times whatever x is. We know x is going to be 8. So I'm going to go ahead and use parentheses here. This means 4 times 8. If you go ahead and use the order of operations now, between subtraction and multiplication is going to go first. So we're going to have 37 minus this 32. And what is 37 minus 32? That is going to be equal to 5. So this would be the value of this expression, given that x is equal to 8. Alright, let's check out number 4. For number 4, we have this expression of 5w plus 8y. Really what this means is 5 times whatever w is plus 8 times whatever y is. So let's go ahead and substitute in. We have 5 multiplied by w. Now we know w is equal to 3, so it's going to be 5 times 3. Plus, we have 8 multiplied by y, which we know y is equal to 5, so we're going to have 8 times 5. Now, looks like we have multiplication, addition, and multiplication. First thing we're going to do here is multiplication. 5 times 3 is going to be 15. We have 15 plus this 8 multiplied by 5. Then we have the second multiplication problem over here. 8 times 5, that's going to be 40. So we're going to have 15 plus 40 here. And then finally, for 15 plus 40, that's going to be equal to 55. So given our values of w and y, this expression would be equal to 55. All right, let's check out number 5. This one's going to get a little bit trickier. We have this expression of xy, or x times y, plus z divided by w. So let's go ahead and substitute in first. So xy really just means x multiplied by y. Now x we know here is going to be 8. So we have 8 multiplied by, and then y we know is equal to 5. So we have 8 times 5 plus, what's z equal to? Well, z is going to be 6, and it's going to be divided by w, which w is equal to 3. All right, this looks a little less scary now that we have all numbers. So it was a variable or algebraic expression. Now it's a numerical expression. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and take care of this multiplication. It's not more important than division, but it is first in the problem relative to looking left to right. So 8 times 5 is going to be 40. So we have 40 plus 6 divided by 3. And then between addition and division, let's take care of division. 6 divided by 3 is going to be 2. So we're going to have 40 plus 2. And then 40 plus 2 is going to be equal to 42. That would be the value of this expression. For number 6, we have this expression of 30 minus wx, or w times x, plus z. So let's go ahead and substitute in. First, we have 30 minus, we have w times x. Now w is 3, and x is equal to 8. So we have 3 times 8 and then plus z, which we know z is equal to 6. All right, between the three operations here, let's go ahead and take care of the multiplication. So 3 times 8 is going to be 24. So we have 30 minus 24 plus 6. Then from left to right here, 30 minus 24, that's equal to 6. So we have 6 plus 6. And then finally 6 plus 6, that's going to be equal to 12. So the value of this expression is equal to 12. All right, so 1 through 6 didn't have any parentheses and didn't have any powers as well, but for 7 through 12, let's go ahead and practice some that do have some of those as well. All right, so for number 7, we have 13 minus w squared, or w to the second power. Let's go ahead and substitute in first. So we have 13 minus, let's see, w is equal to 3, so we really have 3. Go ahead and put that in a hug raised to the second power. Now between subtraction and the power here, the power is going to go first. So 3 to the second power, that's really 3 times 3, that's going to be 9. So 13 minus 9. And 13 minus 9 is just equal to 4. So the value of this expression is equal to 4. All right, what about number 8? For number 8, we have 54 divided by z plus x to the second power. So substituting in first here, copy that 54, divided by, now z is equal to 6, let's go ahead and write 6. Plus, what's x equal to? Well, x is equal to 8, so let's go ahead and put this 8, substitute that in, and then raise that to the second power. Now we have division, addition, and a power. The power is going to go first here, right? So let's go ahead and evaluate that. So we have 54 divided by 6 plus, and what's 8 to the second power? Well, that's just 64. Now between division and addition, division is more important, so it gets to go first here. So 54 divided by 6 is going to be 9. So we have 9 plus 64, and 9 plus 64 is going to be equal to 73. So that would be the value of this expression. All right, for number 9, looks like we have some grouping symbols here. So we have 9 plus the quantity of 11 minus x plus this 4y. So let's go ahead and substitute in first. So we have this 9 plus, and then let's see, in this parentheses, we have 11 minus x. Now x is equal to 8, so we're going to go ahead and just write 8 here, and it's positive, so you can just write it just like that. Plus we have 4y. Remember, 4y means 4 multiplied by whatever y is, and y is 5. So we're going to write 4 times 5. All right, so what we're going to do here first is we are going to deal with the grouping symbol. So it's going to be 11 minus 8. That takes priority. So that's going to be equal to 3. So we have 9 plus 3 plus 4 multiplied by 5. Now between these three operations, multiplication is the most important. So we're going to go ahead and write 9 plus 3 and then plus 20. Going from left to right here, we have two addition problems. Let's go 9 plus 3, that's going to be 12. So we have 12 plus 20, and 12 plus 20 is going to be equal to 32. So that's going to be the value of this expression. All right, let's check out number 10. For number 10, we have 30 minus the quantity of z minus w cubed plus x. So let's start by substituting. Let's start with having this 30 minus, and let's see, open the parentheses, we have z, which is equal to 6. Then we have minus w. W is going to be 3, so we have 6 minus 3. This whole thing is going to be raised to the third power, and then plus x afterwards, and we know x is going to be equal to 8. All right, between everything that we have going on here, let's start with inside the parentheses, right? 6 minus 3 is going to be 3, so we have 30 minus, and then we have this 3 raised to the third power. I'm going to get rid of the parentheses just because there's only one number in there. If you want to keep the parentheses, that's also perfectly fine for now as well. Okay. Between the subtraction, power, and addition, the power is going to go first here. 3 to the third power is really 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is going to be 27. So we have 30 minus 27 plus 8. And then finally, 30 minus this 27, or I guess not finally, one more step after this, is going to be 3 plus 8. And then finally, actually here, is going to be 3 plus 8, and that's going to be equal to 11. So that's going to be the value of this expression. For number 11, we have a little bit longer of an expression here. We have 37 plus the quantity of 23 minus wz, or w times z, plus 72 divided by x. So let's go ahead and substitute in first. We have 37 first on the outside here, plus, and then in parentheses, we're going to have 23 minus, and we have w times z. Now w is 3 and z is 6, so I'm going to write 3 times 6. You can use parentheses if you want, but there's already parentheses, so I'm just going to use a dot here, so feel free to use either or. So WZ is going to be 3 times 6. And then plus we have 72 divided by whatever x is. Now, x is 8, so I'm going to go ahead and replace the x with an 8 here. All right, let's see. We're going to start off with the inside of the parentheses. Hopefully that makes sense. But inside here, there's actually two things to choose from. So inside, we're going to start and choose with the multiplication instead of subtraction here, right? So let's start with multiplication. So we have 37 plus, and then in parentheses. We have to keep the parentheses until we only have one number left inside here. It's 23 minus 18 plus 72 divided by 8. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and continue with the inside of the parentheses until we have one number left, which we will shortly. So we have 37 plus, and then 23 minus 18 is just going to be 5. So we have 5 here, and then plus we have 72 divided by 8. All right, cool. So between the two additions and the division, hopefully it makes sense. The division is going to get to go first here. We're going to have 37 plus 5, and then 72 divided by 8 is going to be 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put plus 9 here. Let's go from left to right. 37 plus 5 is going to be 42. And then finally, this 42 plus 9 here is just going to be equal to 51. I'm going to write over here to the side. That would be the value of this expression. All right, here is one final practice problem. We have w multiplied by the quantity of y plus 2 raised to the second power minus 45 divided by y. So let's go ahead and substitute in first. We know w is equal to 3, so we have 3 multiplied by the quantity of, let's see, y is 5, so we have 5 plus 2 raised to the second power minus 45 divided by whatever y is. Now, y we know is equal to 5, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 5 here. All right, let's see. We'll take care of the parentheses first. So 5 plus 2, that's going to be 7. So we have 3 multiplied by 7 raised to the second power. And then we have minus 45 divided by 5. All right, between all these operations here, the power is going to get to go next here, right? 7 squared, or 7 to the second power. That's 7 times 7, that's going to be 49. So you can write 3 parentheses 49, which really just means 3 times 49, right? You can use a dot there also if you prefer. Okay. Between the multiplication, subtraction, and division, the multiplication is going to go first here. 3 times 49, it's really similar to 3 times 50, or close to 3 times 50, which is 150. Then take away a 3, so it's going to be 147, but feel free to pause to do the standard algorithm. Minus 45 divided by 5. And then between subtraction and division, we should do division. So it's going to be 147 minus 9. And then finally, 147 minus 9. That's similar to 147 minus 10, which is 137, but then add 1 to get 138. So this would be our solution. All right, so there you have 12 different practice problems on evaluating algebraic or variable expressions. The new step here is understanding the terminology and how it's written using the variables. We always try to substitute in first, change all those letters into numbers, and then we just evaluate using the order of operations as usual. So hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, please consider giving the video a thumbs up and sharing with a classmate or friend who might also find it helpful. And as always, keep up the great work that you're already doing.